Alright, hello everybody. Welcome once again to a Silver Brush Facebook Live. You want me to step in?
Sure.
Okay, I'll step in first. I'm Warren Flax. This is my mom, Dee Silver. I'm leaning down because I know exactly where the top of the camera is here. Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it as always. I know that you're tuning in from all around the world. We're here in the center part of New Jersey in the United States. In our warehouse of Silver Brush Limited. This is our new little studio here that we've set up, so hope the lighting is good. We hope you can hear us well. Actually, I'm going to do something to improve the audio right now. So tell us if you guys are having trouble hearing us. I'm going to switch from phone to this microphone. So hopefully it works. Let us know if you have any problems in the chat box. And today we're going to talk about acrylics. Fun stuff. We've got some tube acrylics, we've got some heavy-bodied acrylics, and all long handle. So my mom's going to work here at this easel. I'm going to get out of your way, but I just wanted to show you the giveaway for today. Once again, we're giving away free brushes and a case. Very nice long handle Tuscany case. We sell this in 3 colors, the purple, the red, and the black. So today we're giving away a purple one. I think we have a black one for next time. We'll see how that goes. And then we're going to be talking about 4 different brush lines. So we're going to give you, we're going to give 4 different winners different brushes. So definitely comment in the chats, ask questions, and each of the 4 that we discussed today, the Silverwhite, the Black Pearl, the Ruby Satin, and the Bristlon, we've created a set of each of those. We're going to give one away of each. So we'll have 5 winners today. So this keeps growing. It's getting expensive. So hope you guys are all enjoying that. So with that, my mom, Dee Silver, founded this company 30 years ago. She's here today to talk specifically about the brushes for acrylics. So I will get out of your way. And with that, Miss Deirdre Silver.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all doing well and you're staying healthy. We're so glad that you could join us today, and we want to thank you for joining us. I thought I would go over some of the acrylic series brushes that we have, because I know what an important category that is now. And what I have here on my palette is I have heavy-bodied acrylics. I've got a nice blue and a red and a darker purple. And then on the regular acrylics, the regular tube acrylics, I have a yellow and a green and a few other colors that you'll see. I know I should be more fluid in terms of telling you what the colors are, but we'll see as we go. Just one change from what Warren was saying. Since 3 of these series have both long handle and short handle brushes in them, I'm going to show them both to you. I'm going to show you the long handle and I'm going to show you the short handle in the same series. That way you know that we have such a large variety of brushes that there's so much to choose from. One of the things I also wanted to talk to you about is what we've done to show the different stiffnesses of our series. Now, the stiffest at this point is the Bristlon series. Okay, let's show that very closely. The stiffest is the Bristlon series, and we've recently introduced the Bristlon in, well, we've had long handle in the line for 20 years, but within the last year we've introduced it in short handle, which I'm very excited to tell you is doing very, very well. So you're going to see more of it coming out, and you'll see it at your local reseller. The second stiffest is our Ruby Satin, and Ruby Satin's been in our line since 1995, and people are still painting with some of the original brushes that they bought or I gave them way back then. And of course we have Ruby Satin in the short handle as well, and that's been out a very, very long time as well. And now we have some new shapes that I'm going to go over with you
too.
too.
Brushes, put it over the canvas so that people can see the head as well.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so here you can see the new cat's tongue, and I'll be going over that with you. And you know, this is all Ruby Satin. I'm also going to be showing you our Black Pearl. Black Pearl is a great series. I love the bounce on this Black Pearl. It's got this nice bounce that you can see, and very economical brush, very well made, and I think you'll enjoy using that as well. And the last one, but not least, and the softest in the line, is our Silverwhite. And Silverwhite comes in lots of interesting shapes. and we're just adding a new one to it, and I'll talk to you about that as well as we move along through the brushes.
We always break news on new product here on Facebook, it seems. So all of you who are watching on Facebook, you tend to find out about these things before anybody else does.
And you also find out about it sometimes before we get it in stock. That's the other issue. So
it's coming, but we don't have it yet.
But we're getting it. Don't worry. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this really wide Bristlon's brush, which is...
So what size is that?
This is a size 20.
Is that the largest size?
It is the largest in this particular one. Note it's a short handle. I felt that the long handle you would busy smack yourself in the head. So this is the short handle. And this is a great brush. It lays down a lot of color. You may have seen me using it in the past. Let's just do a light color for the background. And this is just watercolor paper, actually. This isn't even canvas. So you'll have to forgive me for just using the paper because I don't have a canvas this big. Although I do have a small canvas that the folks at Tara were kind enough to give me a while back. And we will be doing a little bit of painting with that, I think, in a little while. But I just wanted to show you how beautifully this puts paint on the background. It makes life so easy because it's nice and big. It moves well over the paper, and you can see how nicely I can get a wonderful background on that. And this won't take very long to dry. This is acrylic paint, so it really dries very, very quickly, and I'll be able to do some other things with it very, very soon. And look at that nice background painting that we've got going on there. So I think that shows you the versatility of this brush. I know a lot of people are painting very, very large canvases, or they're painting on very large surfaces, even maybe walls and furniture and things like that. This is a great brush for them to paint with. And people just like to paint with big brushes. You know, there's just no denying that. And this is just probably one of the best brushes that are out there. Remember, it's Bristlon, so it's a very, very stiff synthetic fiber. It's never going to get soft and mushy. So it's always going to stay very, very stiff like that. And if you want something softer, we have it. It's just you're not going to find that in the Bristlon series. But a lot of people like to paint on very, very stiff surfaces, canvas, whatever it is. And
jeans, bricks.
Jeans, bricks, yeah, all of that. And, well, bricks are a whole different category by itself. But that's the very largest in the Bristlon short handle series. What is new in Bristlon, and we have a couple of things to show you. Here's a nice long handle one, but you haven't seen this before because we're just introducing it now. We're going to have a long handle cat's tongue in the Bristlon, and guess what? We're also going to have it in a short handle. And this is brand new information, and we're very excited about that. It's very, very stiff. Remember, you can paint with this on all different edges, including the center of it. And let's use a little bit of stiff acrylic over here. Remember, we're just putting down color to make it look interesting. Notice you can get some nice edges, some flowers, and you can also use it as a liner. That's the great thing about a cat's tongue. It's extremely versatile. We have cat's tongues in our black velvet. We have cat's tongues in our Renaissance red sables. Cat's tongues are very, very popular, and they're very, very utilitarian. They really are.
Silver silk too.
This, we have it in silver silk, but this is in our Bristlon, and we have this in long handle. So if you're comfortable standing at an easel all the time, and you prefer to stand at an easel, you do use the long handle because that's what makes it easy to get some distance with you. But if you're sitting down and you like to paint sitting down, then by all means use the cat's tongue short handle. So we have the same thing, and here we have a nice purple, but this is a heavy bodied acrylic, so we would be able to use that. So you get some nice leaves
what
over
size
there.
Is that one?
This is a fairly large size. I believe this is going to be a 12 or a 14.
So these are our prototypes, guys.
Yes.
When we tell you it's new, we mean it's really new.
Very
so
new.
This handle, it isn't even labeled.
No, it's
so
not
you
even
can
labeled.
See, that's why my mom hesitated. So we'll get to that size
get
once
that.
we have them out in a couple of months.
But I am excited that we are going to have quite a few more cat's tongues. They become a very versatile shape. We've always done very well with it in the black velvet, and we have it in another scrubber type brush.
Question is the cat's tongue good for blending?
Very good for blending. But remember, you're going to be able to use it to blend in one specific shape. You won't be able to do it in a lot of different shapes. I think round is actually better for blending in. And here we are blending very nicely with the cat's tongue with the yellow background. You've got some very nice blending going on. I think there are some brushes that might work a little bit better, but you definitely can use the cat's tongues. All kinds of very interesting shapes.
That's a good question from Neil Justine Casalevan.
Uh-huh.
And then we had a different question here from Thea Katrina Ong Po. What's the difference when cleaning brushes with soft versus stiff bristles?
Well, it's going to take a little bit of work to get the color out of both. Notice how I have color in here now. I just put that in. What I'm going to do after this session is I'm going to take some ivory liquid, I'm going to scrub it into it, and then get the color out of my brush.
So
it's
gentle kitchen cleaner,
yeah, but not a detergent. You don't want to use a detergent because that can hurt.
Just soap.
Yeah, you can hurt your brush with that. Okay.
Here's a good question. Why did you name your brushes Silver Brush?
Oh, because my last name is Silver. Simple as that. I wanted to honor my parents, so I used Silver. Next, I wanted to show you something else that is new from Bristlon series. This is our angular short handle, and anybody that's ever used an angular brush knows how incredibly versatile it is. It's just an incredible versatile brush. What I love about it is, so first you get your draw down, but here you can make a real sharp edge, and maybe I'm painting a barn, maybe I'm painting a roof, but you get that nice sharp edge that is just so versatile. And anybody that's ever used an angular brush knows how absolutely you must have one of these in your art box. You can't go without it. So I'm using the edge, I'm using the side. This one happens to be a very large brush, but it's extremely versatile. The smaller the brush, of course, the less you'll have to hold, but you'll be able to get in much, much smaller and much, much tighter areas than a larger brush. It's up to you. We have it in many different sizes. And one of the great things about it is that you have a choice, and it is in most outlets around the country. We've gotten the short handle Bristlon in, and I think you're going to find it one of the most versatile brushes that you'll ever have. So who uses the short handle? People who sit and paint. So if you're sitting on painting on canvas, if you're painting on tile, if you're painting on brick or wood or tin, if you're painting furniture pieces, you might find the short handle very, very convenient. Holds a tremendous amount of color, and you can just keep on painting all day long. Of course, because it's the quality that it is, it's going to stand up and you'll be able to have it for many, many years. I would not put this brush nor any other synthetic brush into oil painting and clean it up with solvent. Remember, turpentine melts filaments. That's very important for you to know. So it doesn't matter who the synthetic fiber is from. If you put it in turpentine, it'll melt the filament. So if you use it in oil color, and I know many people do like Bristlon in oil color because it's so rugged and holds up on the canvas very, very well, clean up with an odorless solvent that you bought in an art supply store. Very, very important information.
So Ian De Jesus asked if
Hi.
we have cleaning products for our brushes that we could have specific to each set. And then someone else chimed in and said, yeah, that would really be great.
Okay, so Warren's going to answer that because he's been working on that.
We're working on it, people. Yes,
yeah.
we are working on it. Love the suggestion, Ian. Thank you, and we appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's important to you because when we develop products, we don't want to do that just in our own minds.
Right.
We want to know that that's something that you all would benefit from. So we are working on that because we get this question all the time. What do I use to clean? What's the right way? We had another question earlier. You
Right.
said you can use Ivory Liquid. Can I use Dawn?
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
Dawn, Palmolive,
Any of that.
general
Yeah.
brands of
They're very
dish.
gentle. That's the point I'm trying to make. They're very gentle, and they're not going to put particles or anything harsh on the brush itself.
But to that end, the goal is we should come out with something
We
that's
will.
specific for brushes, that's not for another kind of product,
Right.
you know, and we
Right,
will.
and it'll say brushes on it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to show you something very unique to Silver Brush that I believe we're probably the only ones that have thought of this. But I came out with a script liner in a long handle.
Show that over the canvas here.
Sure. I'm sorry.
So this is
This is a script liner.
That's a size 6.
This is a size 6. Notice it's a long handle, so I can use it to paint flowers or lines or anything on my canvas. And I need a little bit more water there. But notice that I get those nice thin lines, and we can keep on painting. So what can you use that for? You can use that for your signature. So you want to put your name on the bottom, whatever it is, you can definitely do it with our script liner. That's the great thing about that particular brush. It's very unique. I have it in a number of different lines in a long handle, but this is a very unique brush to any series. Remember, because it's so stiff, it's going to stand up very, very well to the paint and the surface. Okay. Another brush. So we have several brushes in long handle, and then of course we just introduced the short handle. So I thought I'd also show you our Dagger Striper.
Put that on the canvas too.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So you can all see what that.
Let's do it like that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so here we have the Dagger Striper. You know, it's different from the angular. Here's the angular, here's the Dagger Striper. You can see you get a bit of a different stroke. And I think that you'll find this give you a lot of freedom of movement. And you'll get a lot of feeling that, oh look, I can make this wonderful, let's try another color here. I can make this wonderful stroke that I didn't think I could make with any other brush. And here we have, this is the Dagger, which needs a little water, because I like to work wetter. And this is, I'm just taking the Dagger and I'm using it backwards and forwards. That's all. So that's all I can do with it, but I bet you're so talented you can do so many more things with it than I can. Not being an artist, I do the best I can with what I've got. But this has really caught and captured my imagination, because I think you can do so many more things with this than a lot of other shapes. So you can make interesting curlicues. If you go on our website, you're going to go to the videos for Bristlon and look at Jenny Granberry. She's one of our art educators. She did a number of videos, and I was really struck with how beautifully she was able to control the Dagger Striper and show so many interesting different shapes, much better than what I can do. But this gives you a little bit of a bird's eye view of that particular brush. So that's our Dagger Striper. Again, still in the Bristlon series, still, you know, with that one series, very, very stiff. Our stiffest, I think it is the stiffest
Chris
on the
Cunningham
market.
just typed in, love daggers for flowers, leaves, and what was the third one? And water.
Yeah. Very, very nice for that. This is just a simple little round.
And here's one, Patricia, Bianca Rayala, one of our newest silver brush educators. Hi, Bianca.
Hi.
She wrote in, daggers are so useful, you can paint different strokes depending on the angle.
Thank you for that. Okay, very, very good. So this is our round. This is the short handle round, which of course is very, very useful. So it basically is for any kind of painting that you're interested in doing, but again, you could use it for signature over here, and you could use it for any kind of stroke, and it's going to hold a huge amount of color. Remember, this is a very, very stiff synthetic fiber, so it's not going to get soft, it's not going to get light, and it may not be perfect for some of the techniques that you want to do. So you have to think about what it is I'm going to be doing today, and will this work well for the kind of painting that I'm doing. This is going to hold up. Yellow is not the best thing to use here, but will this hold up in the color I'm using? Now, a lot of the color I'm using today is heavy-bodied acrylic, and I kind of feel that that's really good with Bristlon, so that's why I have that over there. Another brush that we have in the Bristlon series is our little wonderful triangle. Now, we have the triangle for many years in the Ruby Satin, and so many people are so talented that we've seen so many flowers.
Put that over the canvas too, so you can see that.
Sure. This is, notice it's got 3 different areas to paint with. We've got this side, and the front over there. So you've got nice balance, and you're able to paint on many different sides. This was done by Kira here in the office, and notice that nice little flower that she did just by moving this all around. And it's not the easiest brush in the world to control, but if you're looking for a treat, and we're all home these days, you know, minding our P's and Q's with COVID, maybe you should treat yourself to a nice triangle brush and play around with it, because it is something very different. And I've seen beautiful flowers that were created on Instagram, and we have that on the Silver Brush Instagram account. You can see some people from all over the world, from the Philippines, from Singapore, from all over, people painting with our triangle and making some beautiful flowers. So as I said, this is the Bristlon series. It now comes in short handle as well as long handle, and I know that Warren made a set with these brushes, and that's pretty exciting. How many brushes?
It's got a dagger in it.
Three brushes.
We're giving away at the end.
We're giving away at the end. He's got a nice filbert here. He's got a round and a dagger on it. So those are very nice brushes, and we'll be sending that out, whoever wins on that. So make sure you put your name in where you're supposed to.
And where you're watching from. Too.
Where you're watching from. That's right. Now the next one we're going to talk about is Ruby Satin. Now Ruby Satin's been in the line since 1995, so it's not new, but we do have new things in it. So the newest thing that I have for Ruby Satin, you know, Ruby Satin's a bit softer. Do you remember the old mongoose hair that we used to be able to get, and it's endangered and nobody should be using any of the mongoose hair from India? Well, I felt that this was the best feeling hair that competed with that old mongoose hair. This is 100% synthetic fiber. Of course, there's nothing endangered about it. And it's got that nice spring and bounce. See that? It's got that really nice spring and bounce. So you'll be able to get a lot of the spring and bounce. It holds a lot of color. And if you really like the old mongoose hair, I think you really love this Ruby Satin. What is new in Ruby Satin are the cat's tongue in both long and short handle. Here they are. They're due in another month or two, so by the end of the year we'll have these in stock, and these flow very well, and they're as exciting as the Bristlon and some of the interesting shapes that we were able to do with Bristlon. So here I'm at the easel, so I'm going to use the long handle, and I'm going to use the softer acrylic color because I can. I could also use the heavy-bodied acrylics. Both would work very well. And here we go again. But notice I'm getting long strokes, easy strokes, very controlling. Notice how much color it holds. Isn't that wonderful? Now,
lots of comments about how well Silver Brush holds the color.
Good. I love this, that it holds so much color. It's fun. Now, I'll tell you a little story. This is a true story. Cat's tongue brushes were originally created with red sable brushes, and they were created to replicate the feathers of birds. See that? The feathers of a duck, the feathers of a bird. That's what they were originally created for. So that when somebody used to be a painter by the name of, it'll come to me.
Well, there's a question actually.
Uh-huh.
While you're thinking of that name, difference
BB
between
Hopper.
the. Oh, okay.
BB Hopper, that was the name. Go ahead.
Surabi Gupta is saying, when I paint trees, I don't get perfect strokes with synthetic brushes. How will these brushes help me?
Okay, first of all, you're probably not using our brushes. That's
Yeah,
number
he's
one.
not. He's
Okay.
not. Yeah.
So what happens is there's different grades of synthetic filaments in each one of the brushes. One of the things that we make sure of is that you have a tip that always goes back together. Always holds itself together. Remember, you're not using harsh chemicals to clean up. The worst thing you can use on any of these brushes is a turpentine or anything that's a harsh mineral spirits or anything like that. What will happen is they'll start to dry the hair out and they'll start to split and go any way they want. Make sure you listen to me. Use just an average cleaner from your detergent or whatever in the sink, and just use that. There's also some cakes that they sell in art supply stores. Buy a cake. You're not to use any kind of harsh chemical, because that will dry a brush out and you lose the lanolin in it and the hair won't stay together. That won't happen with these brushes. Notice how beautifully the paint.
So Bonnie Winkleman is on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, in
yes.
New York City, here in the United States.
Okay.
And she wants to know what brush you're using right now.
I'm using the Ruby Satin long handle, and this is the cat's tongue. This is the brand new cat's tongue that's coming in next month, and I'm very excited about it. I think she will be able to use this over and over and over again. And you can
everybody who's mad that they don't have a cat's tongue yet, that's because it doesn't exist yet in the stores. So
not in
don't
Ruby
be mad
Satin
at yourself. Yeah, we don't have that yet. We're working on it. Ruby Satin and Bristlon, it's brand new.
Yes, but we do have Ruby Satin in Silver Silk 88 now in both long, I believe, at least short handle. Yeah. So that was the long handle. I also have the cat's tongue in the Ruby Satin in the short handle, and I'll play around with that for a minute, and then we'll look at some of the other great Ruby Satin brushes, because this is a wonderful series. And remember what I was saying.
We're coming up on half an hour, so we're going to want to get to Black Pearl and Silverwhite.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I always have so much to talk about with each one of my series. That's the new cat's tongue. I'm excited about it.
We've had a few folks ask if Ruby Satin is good for watercolor.
Yes, it is good for watercolor. It won't dig into the paper. This is watercolor paper. Much better Ruby Satin than Bristlon in watercolors. Yes, you absolutely can use it. Is it my favorite brush for watercolor? No, it's not.
Go back to the stiffness chart again.
Go back to the stiffness chart.
Yeah, just because, so everyone can see, when we talk about watercolor, Ruby Satin's pretty stiff to use for watercolor. But usually we would see Silverwhite, we would see Crystal, of course you'd see Black Velvet, you'd see Golden Natural.
But it's still a good brush. I get a lot of flexibility out of it. I absolutely feel that you can use it for watercolor. This is watercolor paper. This is watercolor paper, and you can see that it holds the color very, very nicely.
That's upside down.
Yeah, no, I want it upside down.
Oh.
Okay, so this is, we're at the half hour mark, and I only have 15 minutes more. Okay, so let me just show you that I have this. I have this Ruby Satin short handle. I have this in a dagger as well. And again, you can do some really fun shapes and fun strokes with this brush. Right now I'm just using regular acrylic, tube acrylic. I have not been using heavy bodied acrylic with it. That's
for
up
those
to you.
of you who are asking for the stiffness chart, yes, we've posted it in the past on our Facebook page, and we'll do it again.
So you can also find it on our website.
Oh, you sure?
I hope so.
Well, if it's not on the website now, it will be soon.
Yes.
But either way, we'll post it on Facebook,
yes.
Everybody. Thanks for the suggestion.
Okay, let me move on. I'm going to talk to you about Black Pearl. Black Pearl only comes in long handle, and if you're looking for something that's thrifty, something that has a very, very nice, I like the spring and the bounce on the Black Pearl. It's called a Mitelon filament, and it really has this very, very nice spring. So I'm going to show you the Black Pearl in a flat. Notice the flat is longer length out. This is the difference between a flat and a bright. You see that?
The canvas.
See that? That's the difference between a flat and a bright. You get a very big length out. This is very good for landscape painting.
That's the flat.
That's the flat, and this is the bright. Much more controlling when it's shorter. Holds less color.
Great.
Okay, so let's just do a quick little something with the.
Where can we get that awesome apron? Irene L. Smith.
We are working on it.
We're working on it. I was actually just talking with the apron company this morning.
Yes.
You know, there's companies nowadays that just make aprons. How funny is that? Thank you for the suggestion.
Okay, so this is black pearl, and I just wanted you to see how very nicely, if I put more water on it, it does hold color very, very well. Now this is an economical brush.
Yeah, so Bonnie's asking, will the video be safe? Yes, Bonnie, we're going to post this on the Facebook page for Silver Brush so that it can be watched again after the fact, yes. And Bonnie was also asking about where our products are sold in Manhattan.
Yes.
Soho Art Supply is open as we speak.
Yep.
They're a great customer of ours. We love those guys, and they are absolutely available.
Artisan Craftsman in Brooklyn, the 3 Artisan Craftsman stores.
Well, she's
in
on the
Brooklyn.
Upper West Side of Manhattan.
All right, but okay.
But yes, if you're going to Brooklyn, Artisan Craftsman.
And there's a couple of brushes, I believe, on the Dick Blick store on 6th Avenue between 21st and 22nd, I believe. So this is my bristle. This is my black pearl. Notice the very nice strokes you get with it, and keep in mind that this is going to be less expensive than the other ones. Very nice brush, very nice filament. If you're doing something that you feel you don't want to spend an awful lot of money, but you want to have a decent quality brush, this is our economical brush.
Very excited about the cleaner and the apron. More comments.
You're very funny, everyone. I'm doing my best. I'm running
on
my
work
wheel.
To develop all these new products. But we appreciate you all. Thank you very
Yes.
much for the suggestions. Believe me.
So this is the Bristlon, and Bristlon comes with a very nice little angle brush also that I find very controlling, and you'll be able to use it on any surface. Let's just look at that for a second. And again, the great thing about angle brushes is the great edges that you get with them. Notice how this is the Ruby Satin, I believe, the Bristlon, and this is the Black Pearl. Black Pearl is a very, very good quality brush, but I don't think it has quite the absorbency as the Ruby Satin and the Bristlon. But if you're looking and your pocketbook is such, then you want to have something of good quality and a value price, this is the brush for you. Okay, so let me move on. And last but not least is our Silverwhite. Now Silverwhite's in a class by itself because it's very, very soft. And we have it all the way down here. That's a Silverwhite. This is a very, very soft synthetic fiber. You really need to be able to control your paint very well. What is exciting is we are adding for the first time a angular in the short handle. This is going to be a very, very good price, and it's just one of these brushes that every artist needs in their box because it's utilitarian, it's long lasting, it's hard working. There really is nothing quite as great as a Silverwhite brush. We sell thousands and thousands of them a month, and it's because of the quality and the price point that it is. So I'm excited to introduce to you the angle brush. We also have an angle brush and a long handle. So if you're standing at the easel, you can use it over here. And I'm going to have one so that when you sit and paint, you'll be able to use it for when you're sitting. Now let's see if we can find any clean water, because I've made everything dirty. And
What about this one?
yeah, that's the one I'm using. So I'm going to use a heavy-bodied acrylic, just so that you get a different feel. And notice the beautiful way it holds its color. This is just a remarkable brush. You see that? For $1 or $2 more, you can have a Silverwhite brush that is so superior to some of those terrible golden tack-on brushes that you see on the shelves in the store. And this will last you years, not months, years longer, because it's just that good a quality. Multi-diameter filament, so you get wonderful, strong holding capacity.
What does that mean, multi-diameter filament?
So multi-diameter filament means that instead of having all the filament, and this is what filament looks like on the side, we use different size filaments and we put them together. And what happens is you get much, much better holding capacity on each one of the filaments. So you have that you have that wonderful reflection about holding the color, and it just stays right on the filament itself. The worst thing that can happen is I put the brush in here, and I have seen these brushes because I go into art supply stores all the time, and I've seen my competitors do this, and you put the brush down and all the paint flows out. What does that mean? It means all of the filaments are exactly the same size, and that means there's no friction holding the moisture on the filaments itself. By having different sizes, and we typically do between 5 and 9 different sizes for each one of the brushes, you have marvelous friction that holds the paint right on the filament.
So we've got a few questions here. One was, what's the best brush for gouache? That's come up a few times.
Okay, gouache is just an opaque watercolor. So you can use Silverwhite, you can use Ruby Satin. Of course, Black Velvet works beautifully. Our Golden Natural works very, very well. We're not using those today, but of these, I would definitely use our Silverwhite, and I would also use the Ruby Satin. I'm assuming that you're sitting and painting with the gouache. If you're standing, you can also use the Black Pearl. Notice I didn't say Bristlon. I think that's too stiff. I really do. But yes.
Okay, more questions. So Bonnie asked about your water cup holder.
Yes, Bonnie, I'll tell you the truth. I was cleaning out the basement to have my basement finished about 3 or 4 months ago, and I found it. Somebody had sent it to me many years ago. It's a very cool, nifty thing. I have no idea where it came from. So, good luck. That's all I can tell you.
For acrylic, the question was, what's the best brush? And of course, I guess that's sort of the whole day.
The whole day. It really depends on the surface that you're painting with. If you're painting with a very stiff surface, or you really need to get the paint down and have it be very, very durable, I'd use Bristlon. Bristlon's great for any kind of acrylic paint. Then we have our Ruby Satin, which is just the cat's meow. I love Ruby Satin. It's going to last you years and years and years and years. We have people I gave samples to in 1995, and they are still using those sample brushes, and that's 25 years ago. Black Pearl is a very, very good brush, very resilient brush, and a very good quality and a very good price. So that will last also. Not the quality of Bristlon, Ruby Satin, and Silverwhite. And then we have the Silverwhite, which you literally can probably have in your toolbox, for just years and years and years to come by, because nothing happens to it. Because of the quality that it is, it's just going to keep on painting, and it's just going to keep doing its thing.
We've had a lot of folks in India ask where they can get silver brush in India, and Kira did post it in the chat, asmall.in.
Right.
ASMALL, asmall.in. Tarun does a great job there, and thank you all for supporting him.
And he's a very, very great guy. He really is. We have most stores in the United States are open now. I'm very excited to tell you. Artists and Craftsmen, we're in most of those in the United States. But some fun facts is we're in Kolar in the Ukraine. Kolir in the Ukraine, if you're dialing in from the Ukraine today.
Anyone in Kiev in particular, they do a good business there.
All right. And then we're in Jackson's in the United Kingdom. They are great resellers of ours and distributor, and they really sell all over Europe for us. And here in the United States, we also work with Commercial Art Supply in Syracuse, New York, as well as all of the other mail order folks that are out there, Jerry's and Dick Blick and Hyatt's. So you'll find us all over. And we love working with you, and I'm sure you'll love these brushes.
All right, here's a good question to sort of wrap up with. How do you maintain the brush after you finish painting?
Well, the first thing I do is I go over to the sink over here in the warehouse, and I wash my brushes really, really thoroughly. And then what I do is I let them dry flat. Remember, letting them dry like this is the worst thing you can do.
Why?
Because that means the water goes into the ferrule, and as it's going into the ferrule, it could be destroying the epoxy that's inside the ferrule, and then it starts to crack the handle. Nobody wants a cracked handle. Nobody. So what's very important is that you let your brushes, I let them dry just like that. That's how I let my brushes dry. Sometimes I'm thinking about it, and I get a little lift over here in the back, and they dry like that. Notice the moisture's going down. That's the most important thing that we have to let the brushes do. Let the moistures go down away from the head, and you won't have the cracking and the moisture going through the handle. Very, very important. I do that every time I'm done demonstrating. I just thought I'd show you a new set that we're coming out with. This is our new mop set in the new packaging. We're going to have this out by the end of the year. And this is a mop set. This is a 4-piece mop set. Notice how beautiful that is. And you'll be able to get that from your favorite reseller.
So I don't know if you can remember now, but we had a question about the green. What did she say? She wanted to know what brush you used for the green. Was it green circles? She said, or the green squigglies?
Green squigglies was this.
Okay, that was the Bristlon, the Dagger.
The Bristlon in the Dagger.
Great.
No, it's not Dagger.
Liner.
No, it's a script liner.
Okay. The green spirals, she wrote. So,
This.
okay. And
Yeah,
was
that's
that
this.
Was the,
This is the script liner, and that's the 1907 size 6.
1907 size 6. All
Yep.
right. Well, I think it's time to give away some free stuff.
Good.
So I have to go out and get the list from Kira of who the winners are. Kira, by the way, has been answering all of your questions in the chat box, everybody. So say hello to Kira. Thank her for all of her hard work and her talent on the page, and I'll be right back.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dagger while you're just listening, and I'll do some more strokes for you.
All right.
Okay, Warren's
Give
got
away
that.
some stuff.
Give away.
Okay, so first of all, let's give away this case. So this purple Tuscany case is going to Luann Ordile in New Jersey.
Oh.
So Luann, hello, New Jersey. That's us. I better write down who got what, right? So that's the case. Great. Okay, next is this set of Bristlon, and this is going to Ian De Jesus in the Philippines. Congratulations, Ian.
Congratulations, Ian. So thank you for coming today.
Thank you. All right. And then this Black Pearl set goes to Heidi Roy in Indiana. Congratulations, Heidi. Black Pearl, thank you. This Ruby Satin set
Good luck.
goes to Bonnie Winkleman in New York City.
Hello, Bonnie Winkleman.
Congratulations, Bonnie. And last but not least, this is a great set, the Silver White. And this is going to Bulgaria, Elena Zelyshakova. Elena, thank you for joining us. Congratulations to you. So that's 5 winners today. I think that's probably going to do it for this time, right? Okay, so we will see you all again in 2 weeks. Okay? This is our next Facebook Live, Wednesday, October 7th, same time, 12 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Thank you all for your comments and your questions and your suggestions and the feedback. We really take it seriously. If you tell us that there's something important to you that you're not getting right now, we'll develop the product and we'll come out with it. If you tell us something stinks, then we probably shouldn't bother, right? So we're listening to everything you have to say. We really appreciate you all. Thank you very much for joining us. And we'll talk to you all in 2 weeks. And we'll make sure to get the stiffness chart posted on Facebook. Thank you, everybody.
Stay healthy, stay safe, wear a mask.
Bye.
Bye-bye.